What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to show you on how to wet sand and polish over decals. There's multiple questions on how to do this, and it's basically the same procedure as your polishing your normal paint job, but this is just over decals. Now the clear coat that I use for this build is 2K clear. If you are using any kind of 1K clear such as a spray can, or such as from Tamiya or anything like that, 1K clear is not as high dense and it's not as strong as 2K clear. So if you're using 1K clear, make sure you are wet sanding very carefully, because like I said, it is not as thick and is not as strong as 2K clear. Now, like I said, we're using 2K clear, and right now first grit is we're going to start off with 1000 grit. 1000 grit is going to get rid of any kind of pumices and any kind of rough terrain that is in the paint job. As you saw in the pictures before, there was a lot of orange peel because decals are known to leave lots of orange peel. It's just the nature of decals. Decals love leaving orange peel no matter what, so you are going to wet sand it. It's very likely you are going to wet sand decals. It's very not too often we don't have to, where decals do play with the clear coat, but it's probably like 99.9% chance you do have to wet sand it. So right now, like I said, we're starting off with 1000 grit. We're gonna give any kind of rough terrain that's on the decals and just smooth it all out.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love.
Alright, next up is 1500 grit. So we got all the rough stuff off with the 1000 grit, and now we're going to go ahead and level up our sandpaper. So now we're going to do 1500 grit, and we're going to keep going higher and higher on grits to smooth it all out whatsoever and get rid of as much scratches as possible. I am applying medium I'm basically applying medium pressure onto the body. You don't want to push down too hard, because you can definitely risk sending through the clear coat into the paint job and definitely into your clear coat, or definitely into your decals, and you can definitely tear your decals up. So only medium pressure. If you are using 1K clear, make sure you apply as very little pressure as possible, because like I said, it is 1K clear and it is not as high dense as 2K. Next grit is 2000, and this one is going to, like I said, it is going to smooth out even more, get rid of as much scratches as possible that the 1500 grit left over. Again, medium pressure on the entire body. Just repeat the process that you did before. And the final grit is 2500. This is the final grit, and this one is going to smooth out everything that all the other sandpaper has left behind. This will just give it any kind of scratches behind. Then from here is where polish is going to take into play. So make sure you take this one very carefully and just try to get as much possible what you did sand before. Make sure you try to do cover that, because like I said, this one is going to get rid of any kind of scratches that the other 3 sandpaper has left behind onto the body. Okay, now it's time for polish. So all wet sanding is done. Make sure where you wet sanded it has a nice matte finish to it. It should have like an eggshell look to it, kind of type deal. And now you're ready for polish. Now there's 2 ways you can do polishing. You can use, like I'm using it as a Dremel tool, or you can use it by hand by using a cloth. I'm going to use a Dremel tool because the Dremel tool, it makes it much easier and it puts less stress onto your hands, and it's also much faster to use the Dremel tool. I'll provide all the links down below to the polishes that I'm using, to the Dremel tool, to the Dremel tool pads that I'm using to polish. So click the link down below to the description box below. Now, when you're using polishing, right now we are using the Scratch X. Scratch X from M.Y.S. M.Y.S is the best polish that I use, and I prefer this stuff over any kind of polish out there. So now the Scratch X, what this is going to do is get rid of any kind of scratches that is left over from the 2500 grit sandpaper, because again, 2500 grit is still sandpaper. There's still a little bit of scratches onto the body, so the Scratch X is going to get rid of any scratches left over from any sandpaper left behind, and it's basically going to get back to the shine too. You might see the shine has come back, but it's not going to be fully back until our next polishing job. So when you do polish, especially when you are using a Dremel tool, do not stay in one area too long, because again, it does create heat and you can risk burning through the clear coat onto your decals and into the paint job. So make sure you are moving your hand constantly, not keep it in one spot, because again, it's going to create stress and it's going to create much heat to the body, and you don't want that. So move very carefully and don't go too fast, because you want the actual polishing wheel to get to where you want to sand. So make sure you're just moving your hand just very carefully, not too fast, nothing, you don't want to go too slow either. So go medium speed. The setting that I have, my Dremel tool has 5 different settings. I'm keeping my speed at level 3, between 3 and 4, which is the medium setting. You can go higher if you want to, but like I said, make sure you do move your hand much faster, but level 3 and 4 is right on the sweet spot for me, and it's not too fast for me. So keep that in mind. And the sponge that I'm using the stiffest sponge that you can get, which basically gets rid of any kind of scratches whatsoever, and that works perfect for this type of polish. And our next polishing compound, we will move our sponge to a more finer sponge, a little more softer for our next polishing compound. Alrighty, so now we're on to our next compound. Now, once you're done with your Scratch X, make sure you do wipe off any excess wax, of course, and make sure your body has some sort of shine to it as well. Don't worry about if there's any fogginess still, because that is where the Ultimate Compound is going to come in handy. The Ultimate Compound, it basically just finishes off what the Scratch X couldn't do, and it's going to get rid of any kind of fogginess and any kind of distorter that's into the clear coat after wet sanding. Now, but this is basically your final stage for the Dremel tool, because the next polish after this, we're not using the Dremel tool, we're using a cloth instead. But with this one, it's going to bring back as much shine as possible. basically as shiny as it was before you wet sanded, but of course without the orange peel and stuff. And this one, of course, when you are using Dremel tool, it's basically the same procedure as the Scratch X. Move medium speed. Don't stay in one area too long because again, it's on great heat. The sponge that I'm using now is a medium sponge. There is a super soft sponge, which is like a black sponge, but I don't really care for that one. So we're using the medium pressure sponge, so it's not as stiff as the first one, which gives it scratches. In this case, we're not getting any scratches. We're getting rid of any kind of fogginess and any kind of shorter that's into the clear coat. So we're using the medium strength sponge, and it just gets rid of any kind of blemishes that's into the clear coat still from the sandpaper and of course Scratch X. And this is going to bring back as much shine as possible. So again, the same procedure as the Scratch X. Move medium speed. Don't go stay in one area too long. Of course, if you're using by hand, a cloth, then just do circle motion and stuff, and show you until you get the shine back. Alrighty, so look over the body, make sure it has a nice shine to it, and if, like I said, there's any fogginess left over, make sure you do go over that once again. I'll put more polish there and hit that spot one more time because you don't want any fogginess onto the clear coat at this moment in time. And now we're on to our final stage, which is the ultimate polish. Now what we're going to do on this is we're going to spread this onto the entire body, and what we're going to call this is a wax on and wax off. So what this does, it basically protects the clear coat. It's gonna, so say like you're handling the body during final assemblies, what this is gonna do is basically, because you obviously your fingerprints all over the body. Now when you're done with the kit, you can of course get another cloth and you can wax off your fingerprints off easily, and that's what this does. It basically puts on another coat of protection onto your body, so it doesn't bring back the shine. It just protects the clear coat from any kind of disorder, or if you do use super glue onto the body, it protects the body as well, so it doesn't get hazy. So if you use any kind of super glue that hazes, this also protects that as well. So we're just gonna do a wax on and wax off. We're gonna put it onto the body and get every single corner of the body, get the hood, get every single bumper, whatever you can on the body, and we're gonna go ahead and let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do a wax off. Alrighty, so it's been about 5 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and get another cloth, a clean cloth with no wax on it whatsoever, and we're gonna go ahead and wipe off all of the wax that we put on it. So just basically wipe on, wipe off wax, basically we call this procedure, and just get any kind of wax off as possible. Get all of it off as possible as you can. If there's some corners that you can't reach the towel, you can of course use a cotton swab. If there's some wax that is in the panel lines, such as if your car that has panel lines or whatever, you can use a toothpick and get in there and scrape that out. But again, make sure you get as much wax as possible. If wax dries onto your body, say like for an hour, you're gonna have fun getting it off. You are gonna have to get more wax and spread it on there, and you have to wax that off, because wax is basically like clear coat alone. If it's on there, it's on there. It's basically yeah, like I said, clear coat. So if you don't get it all off right now, and you wait, like you say, like you wait an hour or go later, and it's gonna be a pain to get off. So make sure you do get as much of it as off as possible at this moment in time. And there we have it. We have our nice, clean, and orange peel-free decals, such as you're doing a NASCAR or any kind of race car that has lots of decals. We're ready to go, and it is orange peel-free, and it has a nice shine to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I can try to answer them as much as possible or as fast as possible. But other than that, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and until next video, I will catch you next time. And everything I use in this video will be in the description box below. But until next video, guys, I'll catch you on next time.